Welcome back to Heavenly Sword. So yeah, once again playing as Kai. Now we're going to meet the stupidest gatekeeper ever.
Heavenly Sword. Heavenly Sword, more like a hellingly knife.
Ah, God, Jesus, Kai, what is going on with your eyes? In different directions like a chameleon.
Open the door.
Oh my God, the audio recording on this. It sounds like somebody recorded it inside of a tin can.
I get the idea that's the point.
He's talking through a speaker.
I'm more asking why these guys have very thick British accent.
I don't know it.
Well, everyone's speaking in a British accent here.
Wow,
Okay,
really, my dude?
I'm not really used to it, but Nariko didn't seem to be.
Okay. If I remember correctly too, at this point, this is past the point where you give up?
No.
Oh, really? Okay, the basic point is, okay, so he's like, oh, this room is only for commanders, I'm gonna need a password. And she's like, oh, I'm new here, I don't know it. Okay, so then go talk to one of the commanders to ask for the password. Well, oh, really? You just fell for the I'm new here excuse? You didn't even think,
Boahn is one of those warlords who prefer quantity over quality in his people.
Clearly.
I will say this though, did he never figure the fact that the voice sounds feminine and like, we clearly see that aside from Fish Girl, there are pretty much no women in his employ?
Yeah, there's that too. I mean, especially considering how we've already established that this society is incredibly sexist. So, yeah.
God, does that mean that the bad guy is more progressive than the supposed good guys?
That's sad.
Again, Jova, if they want to go for it, they want to go for a parallel to the Hiborian era of Conan and Red Sonja. It's more of a case of might making right, but at the same time having prejudice being, you know, still
Whoa, what was that? She just jumped and then suddenly jumped right to the right while she was in the middle of her other jump.
Dreams, to give it credit, at least the camera angle stayed consistent, unlike in Catwoman 2003.
It's a bit of a janky animation, yeah.
Okay.
2004, but yeah.
Okay, so basically the key to defeating... what you have to do now... okay, this is something that the game doesn't tell you, by the way. In order to progress, you can't just go to the door where the commander is, even though it's possible to go there right now. Also, that guard is stuck in the doorway. Okay. There you go. Brilliant AI, guys.
Line yourselves up.
Brilliant AI, guys. Brilliant. Truly, truly, this is going to be the next big triple IP, big IP from Sony. Clearly. Okay.
Back to what? Oh, sorry. Go on.
So the basic point is, you can actually go straight to the place where you can get the password. However, you will not be able to trigger the cutscene unless you kill all the enemies in here first. See, now it says find the commander in the West Tower, but the game didn't make it clear that you were supposed to kill all the enemies first. So basically, in an earlier version of this raw, where I cut footage and start from beginning, I just tried going straight to it because the game didn't really hint that I had to kill all the enemies first. Which remember again, there's been sections in this game that you have been able to bypass enemies. So I have no reason to assume, because up until this point the game has been fairly good about allowing me to skip enemies when possible. So I kind of assume, okay. So I can assume, okay, if I can go there now, I can maybe hopefully try to get away from them. But no, you think the game would give me some kind of cue that I'm supposed to kill all the enemies first? But whatever.
I don't know if maybe that was a bug, but okay, let's assume that's not a bug. That's bad inconsistency, or at the very least, just leave a message telling you that you have to clear out all the enemies.
Honestly, to me, it was more of a case of, well, if there are any other enemies in the area, it would sound suspicious when I go to talk to the commander, you know.
The weird thing though is that that's like the only time so far where suddenly you have to think like that plot was.
Okay, so now what you have to do is, so the commander is hiding behind all those fireworks. So obviously we need like the director just hinted with his directing, we have to use a fire arrow to blow the crap out of the commander. Also, you see what I mean? You see what I mean about not being able to change the camera? Remember, the camera is fixed, so I can't change the camera to behind me, so whenever I go back to something, that happens. Again, this is 2007. By this point, analog cameras were the standard. Like,
I can understand why they would have initially thought that this was a good idea because of how cinematic they wanted this to be. The problem was that they did not consider all the gameplay problems that would arise from this.
yeah.
That said, maybe there's some hidden developer trick that they knew how to get the camera to work this time for them. But again, if it's a developer trick, well, congrats. The devs know how to do it, but your typical player probably wouldn't.
And here we go.
And boom.
What a beautiful sight.
And in the background too, you can see Lord Frieza going, ha 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 ha! Look how this wonderful fireworks, like when he destroyed Planet Vegeta. So. All right, moving on.
The good thing Lord Boahn is not noticing this.
I know, right?
Well, remember, Teo, he's busy torturing Nariko. So.
Ow. Ooh.
Password for armory.
Get lost.
That's not a password.
I'll hit your weak point for massive damage.
Ha 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 ha!
Crotch humor.
Monkey Peaches, what kind of password?
Not just
is that?
not just crotch humor. Like that's a reference to the
Massive damage.
Yeah, that's a reference to the PS4 to the 2006 Sony E3. Ha!
The blade. I have a copy of that, by the way.
Maybe we should cover that for the channel someday.
We need to do that. Remember, Jova, it's a sequel. Where it was a first game on the PS2 called Genji. It was still called Genji, but in a different subtitle.
Do they?
What kind of camera angle did you choose?
Teo, that's not me. Remember, the camera's fixed. I can't do anything about that.
Okay, if I understand correctly, what was going on is that the camera is angling itself with the stairway.
Remember, Teo, the camera angles are always fixed, so I can't do anything about that shit.
Oh shit.
Just fooling. Had you go in there for a minute though, didn't I? Sorry, things get rather Come on through.
What a
Okay.
charming fella.
Twing twang? What does that mean?
Remember, Pedro, we established also in the previous parts that
Oh, right.
game were to go to a killing spree. Also, first-person camera.
I missed that sword, but now I long to hold it once more. Let it tear through flesh and bones.
Scorpion, what did you eat to become like this?
Okay, did Frank Miller suddenly take over the writing or something? Why is she constantly self-narrating to herself?
No, Pedro. We need a nonsensical, time skip capture in the beginning, like 5 minutes earlier than that.
That is true. Yeah. I mean,
Era of Miller, I guess.
I mean, I wanted to make a joke regarding her narration, and Frank Miller was the first thing that came up to me.
Which, to be fair, even before he was getting to the point of doing those weird time anachronisms, he had some odd stuff.
Not to
And
mention,
hey,
we had
she's
this kind of
even-
narration since the beginning because it's Nariko. Remember, we started the game with the final battle, and Nariko is retelling all
Yeah,
of the
true.
of us.
True.
Well, as we are representation of the Heavenly Sword,
Yeah.
ideally.
Basically.
And now she's pining for the sword, just like the spirits in the movie pined for his city.
Okay, so yeah, one more boss to fight. Basically we have to keep ourselves alive until Kai brings us the Heavenly Sword. There you go. And yeah, this boss can take quite a while to defeat because not only does he block a lot, he's also kind of a damage sponge. So
He doesn't even really look that interesting to fight.
no, not well. Remember, Java, that's just the thing. While they do try to give it variety regarding with the
Also-
three styles, when you get right down to it, the combat really just boils down to just attack, parry, dodge, attack, parry, dodge, attack, parry,
Also,
dodge.
as you showcased before, Pedro, you're supposed to actually circle around him, beating from the back.
There you go.
You just tossed him off the stage.
Well, the game tells me I did perfectly there, so I don't know.
Now what? Andy is enjoying this.
I get that. I just wish I would find the game. I get that. I just wish I would find the game as entertaining as he does.
I guess to be fair, he wrote it, so I'd be surprised if he didn't find it entertaining.
Oh well.
I'm curious. Have we ever seen other bouts of Andy Serkis writing? I wonder.
Not that I'm aware. As far as I'm aware, this is the only thing he's written.
Usually NDB tells this kind of information, so let me do it.
Alright. And now we have this sequence where we're on this gondola thing. And we have to keep ourselves alive because...
Which of course rides very slowly.
Yeah, of course it does. Alright, so... let's try to shoot more people in the dick. Alright, I could use a flame right now. See, Taylor, the only thing I can do camera-wise is just steer slightly to the left or to the right. I cannot actually change the angle. So every time I go back in a place where the camera is fixed on my back, I have to go towards the screen. And that's why those angles of Kai were happening. I have literally no control. I can't believe that did the QA team not maybe tell the developers that, okay, guys, maybe you should implement a proper camera system on this thing? You'd think the QA team would tell them that or something, or wait, maybe I just answered my own question. There was no playtesting. Thank you. Like,
who knows? Who really knows?
I mean, like I said, this is 2007. By this point, analog camera systems were the standard. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out the year before this, and that came out.
This really screams early game developed game developed in the early years of life of the studio. Because I remember this was the second game that Ninja Theory ever made. So...
that being said, this game does have a few issues that would persist in some of their other games. Thankfully, not all of them.
Yeah,
so, again,
and as far as I can tell, neither Santa Monica nor any other first-party Sony titles helped with the development. It was just Ninja Theory handling on their own. I think, right?
Let me see if I can look up.
Sorry.
If I remember correctly, Ninja Theory developed this entirely on their own without any help from Santa Monica or anything, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so their first game, Kung Fu Chaos, which is way more...
the Xbox exclusive, I think.
Yeah, going strictly off of the cover, way more cartoonish looking, but apparently it was a 3D fighting party game. So, when it comes to games of this particular genre, it might as well have been their first game, as far as we know.
I'm actually surprised that Microsoft hasn't added that game to their backwards compatibility thing, considering they now own Ninja Theory, so they probably...
It really isn't really that
I guess
much.
it depends on if it's good or
Oh,
anything.
I get that, Tail, but remember, when you have a subscription service and you need to add content regularly, any content is good to add, as long as you can claim you've added new content, you know?
Let's see, Kung Fu Chaos got very mixed reception. 68 on Metacritic, 5 out of 10 on Electric Gaming Monthly. Ooh, 2.5 stars on All Game, 6.3 out of 10 from IGN, so... I don't know, make of that what you will.
A 3D fighting party game. So basically, it was the predecessor to Bleeding Edge, kind of, maybe?
Maybe? Huh.
Because
again, this is quite possibly the most cartoonish looking of any of Ninja Theory's games that I've seen. I have not seen it in action. I don't know.
I don't know either.
This is good or bad?
I don't know either. As for this game, yeah. This is still going, by the way. Go on, Teo.
Yeah, no, this is way too long.
No, okay. Maybe it's because of bad navigation, because of they changed their layout recently, and it's just bad. But neither IMDb nor Wikipedia tells me much about Andy Serkis, writing credits.
Is the only thing.
Yeah,
maybe there is, but they're just not documented well. That's what I'm saying.
Well, true.
That's possible too.
That's possible too, but considering all the information we have right now, I think I do have reasonable reasons to assume that this was probably his one writing gig, and probably for a good reason. Don't get me wrong, Andy. I love you, buddy, but stick to mocap. That's what you're great at.
Don't get me wrong. I've seen from other games that, to me, definitely probably do not help with the writing, but if I'm to understand that this was mainly Andy Serkis's...
Remember also, this was also co-written also by the daughter of Terry Pratchett. It's not like he said, she's not the first person that comes around in town with no writing experience whatsoever. You know?
Yeah. So maybe, it just boils down to Tameen having creative control, and the other two writers just had to do what he said.
I don't remember if the extra do have like a developer, you know, type or something.
I love.
Despite crouching to take cover, you still managed to
There
nail
was an
that guy.
attempt.
That's the thing. That's the thing, Joe. He didn't even crouch. He literally launched himself to the floor, like completely. He was literally laying down on the floor. So.
Unfortunately, the wind really decided to screw him over in that regard.
Fortunately, God is in my corner and he directs my arrows whenever I want them to.
Pretty
How
much.
nice. How nice of him.
Yeah.
God is such a great game mechanic, isn't
I mean,
he?
I mean, like Theo said, we're supposed to assume that we, the player, are an entity in this world.
Kind of like how we are technically Aiden.
So basically, in Heavenly Sword, you are God, and you are helping these characters succeed in their war. Basically.
We are quite literally the Deus Ex Machina.
This makes me wonder, do they even deserve credit for saving the day, or are we the real heroes?
And more importantly, who cares?
Exactly. My God, this is still going!
Glitch, do we have something equivalent to an elevator music for this?
Unfortunately, I'm not sure I can get that out in
God
time.
damn it.
See, there's not even any enemies more to kill. I'm literally just grounded right now.
The game literally David cages you.
Okay. I'm really taking this to support my theory that they really expected Aftertouch to only be done with motion controls because then it would have been tougher.
Suddenly they're going to the brakes for no reason.
Yeah,
I guess
like,
it was made in the same place we did for Frozen 2010.
No, that's just detail. They're gonna...
Okay, now this was also the point where I was starting to get really pissed off.
Let me guess, they reversed the
Remember,
controls
at this
here,
point,
don't
I
they?
still
No, to be fair, they don't.
Again, let me just say this: Dead Space 2 pulls this off so much better. This kind of set piece sequence.
When did that game come out?
2009, I think.
So it came out after this. So
Yeah, definitely after this. It was not in the launch window.
So I'm curious, what didn't you like about this bit?
The fact that,
they
again,
flipped it
you're
upside
technically
down?
reversed. Your controls are not reversed, obviously, but your perspective kind of get wonky after that very long tiring session. And remember, I was kind of speed running through this game, so I was like 4.5 hours in at this point. The failures counting and everything. So as you can imagine, the stress was being built up.
Yeah.
Nah, I can definitely get that. I
And
mean,
yet,
and again,
it was still not the place where I quit.
It's
and we're still moving so slowly.
It's the again the developers are trying their hard to squeeze as much playtime out of this as possible just to make sure it's just enough for full price.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I as well do this just run, but yeah, no, I'm convinced that Aftertouch was definitely just going to be motion control exclusive, because then in that regard, it wouldn't be as much easy to abuse it in this.
Also, Theo.
I hope your blood is not going through your head.
Also, Theo, I got it.
I know, right?
I got it, Theo. The reason the gondola broke is because it's made from the same material that Eggman used to build his egg carrier in Sonic 06, where that also crashes for no reason.
Wow, it's just there in display, not even locked behind.
You are an idiot, Boahn. You deserve to lose this war.
I know, right?
Did you notice, Kai?
Okay, Dwibs, I want you to... oh, here you go. Flashback, sorry.
Yeah.
What is that corpse her mother?
Yeah, Kai's mother.
I won't be long, I promise.
So there you go. Kai's mother died in front of her. And he was killed by the Flying Fox, aka one of Bohan's... Right.
So, yeah, PTSD.
And there he is.
Oh, and a perfect time for a boss fight.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we're doing this now.
I appreciate the attempt to explain Kai's character. the problem is the backstory is so rushed. It just goes by in an instant. Yeah.
Pedro, come on.
I wanted to see what happens if I failed. There you go. See, now I did it. I mean, Taylor, it's not like failing has any major consequences anyway.
But no, I absolutely get what Pedro means. Like, this moment literally just comes out of nowhere. Like, okay, sure, yeah, we get an answer as to why Kai was apparently an orphan, but we literally get this, and now I guess she's also gonna deal with her mother's killer, literally all in just one go.
Sword, Kai. You have to bring the sword. Yeah, but like I was saying, yeah, I appreciate the attempt to try to flesh out Kai's backstory. The problem is, it's so rushed. It goes by in like 2 seconds. We have barely any time to absorb that.
And more of this now.
Yep. Now two beasts.
Well,
Actually, no, 4 at once.
I am really getting tired of this section, to be honest
We'll go
with you.
back to PTSD Kai later. Right now,
Yeah, it's no more.
The pacing on this whole segment.
Yeah, no wonder Teo quit around this nearly at this point, because yeah, this is where the game really starts to get on your nerves.
I want to emphasize this, but I did not really have that much of a problem with Nariko's sections.
Oh sure, I understand that. It's just it goes on for so long.
I was kind of dreading instead every instance where I would have to shoot a projectile, basically.
Oh sure, obviously. It's just that this just goes on for longer than it needs to.
Wow, I love how the bad
she gets
guy
accidentally, skewered.
I love how the Flying Fox literally letting Kai get away is what allows her to get Nariko the sword. Like,
as we have
holy
established in
cow.
the previous cutscenes, even Boahn is kind of astounded how weird the fox is.
But even still, though, like, damn, you're a terrible general. You literally let the one item that can defeat your boss and his forces just go like that, and well,
Yeah,
now
hey.
y'all are probably gonna die due to that.
All right, Dwibs. We managed to steal this incredibly powerful bomb from our enemy that he was going to use to blow us up. So we need to keep this safe from his hands. So what I want you to do, Dwibs, is put it there on your front shelf where it can be seen by everybody. That way we'll be safe.
well, I'll at least put up a whole bunch of my bodyguards between you.
No, that's not necessary. I mean, why bother putting bodyguards right in front of the bomb protecting it? I mean, come on, just put it on the shelf there. I'm sure it'll be fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Like, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I legit thought we were gonna have a boss fight with the Flying Foxes Kai first, since that would be the only reason about why we'd escape with it. But no, he just lets her go.
I'm not sure with Jove on this one, and I'm guessing you're gonna ask if we do fight Flying Fox. Yes, we do.
As who exactly?
As Nariko, which brings up my point. Yeah.
Oh.
Why would you? Okay, wouldn't it make more sense to, if you're going to establish that Flying Fox killed Kai's mom, wouldn't it make sense to have the Flying Fox be the one boss you take down as Kai? That way you would serve as a payoff to the flashback. But no,
I
it's...
honestly thought that was...
I'm getting my Hero Academia flashbacks again.
Wait a minute, context?
There's a character in that who okay, I think they do a better job at establishing why a certain villain that they face gets PTSD, and so it happens, but they aren't actually the ones who get to beat up the monster. It's some other person.
Also, no, you
no way
cannot
to
skip the cutscenes. So.
Jesus Christ. Well, okay, technically, Teo, I can skip the pre-rendered ones. It's just that this is an in-game one. The in-game ones are the ones that can't be skipped.
That's also the series that recently pulled a kill a character off screen thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know all the context of that, but I think I get what you mean, though. Like, well, character who should be taken down by a character to fit the narrative gets taken down in a rather odd and different fashion. Like, and okay, maybe if Kai contributes to his defeat, that's fine, but no,
She does.
It really feels weird. I honestly thought the idea was going to be, okay, we
Again,
defeated him once
just wait and see what it happens.
hold on, let me finish. My idea was like, well, okay, once we defeat him as Nariko, the second time we beat him as Kai. Like, and again, maybe what they have in mind might work. I'm not holding my breath, but we'll wait and see. But that being said, though, that still does not address how stupid it is that he let Kai go. I'm sorry, you're not an intriguing
don't you see?
villain.
Don't you see, Jova? She's too weak to finish off.
Yeah, except for the fact that, again, she got your main enemy back her main weapon. Which, yeah, and even if Kai ain't strong enough, Nariko is definitely strong. So, nice job fixing it, villain.
Yeah. Like Theo said, the key to defeating these guys is hitting him in the back. What I'm doing is I'm trying to take advantage of the whole, when they're lying on the floor, you can insta-kill.
You can actually finish them off, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm taking advantage of that as my method of killing them, basically. Because, yeah, once again, like I said, one of my biggest problems with this game is the fact that the game just, like Theo usually would say, throws the kitchen sink at you, like by throwing so many mooks at you all at once. And
These guys are some of the heavier ones,
and
too.
as a result, it's very easy for you to get surrounded and overwhelmed, you know?
I wouldn't mind this so much if they had moves that help you deal with massive enemies, but... Really.
No, you really have to take them down one at a time. It really... Like, there's not really... This is not a Dynasty Warriors where you can do super-powered moves that kill a bunch of enemies all at once. I mean, okay, technically they're going to do something like that in the climax, but by that point it's too little too late, if you ask me.
And the thing is, there were games before this that did have ways of dealing with a massive enemy, so what's this game's excuse?
Well, this game wants to be a more typical... like, a more... Okay, this game wants to be more something like a more a traditional hack and slash where it's not really a Dynasty Amuzo type of game. But so I've in that case designed the game with that because it really feels like I shouldn't really be fighting so many physics. What are those? Like what the hell was that?
He became a rubber ball.
Yeah, I just summed it up. Yeah, now we time for the proper boss fight.
Alright, I guess it's your turn now.
I think he wants to kill her.
Nah, you think?
She's still running.
Just keep running, just keep running. Okay. So yeah. Roach as a shell. He's literally a hero in a half shell, apparently. So
this is the missing 6 Ninja Turtle.
Okay, the basic gist of it is this. He'll do a rolling attack, and then he'll be vulnerable, and you can hit him like I'm doing right now. So basically, just keep doing this, and you'll eventually beat him. Once again...
He damages himself if he actually face plants in one of those.
Yeah. Also that. So this boss is actually, in my opinion, far easier than the mooks that we just fought, to be honest with you. It just takes.
There's only one of them.
It just takes a while because, again, I still don't think it was a good idea to give the boss battles free life bars. I mean, okay, I'll 2. Just give them 2. I think 2 is enough. To be perfectly honest, I don't really care for this idea that I only have 1 health bar and every boss has 3. I don't know.
It really depends, because a lot of games tend to have everyone has an health bar, it just depends on the amount of HP that they have.
And also the amount of damage you can potentially do, and again, most importantly, how fun the battles are.
Yeah.
Like now, a good battle will help disguise its length in that regard.
Fuck.
Ow.
I think I'm gonna try healing myself, I think. Oh. Yeah.
Love the walking cycle.
Oh my god, I hate this camera system. This would be it would be so much easier to get to where I want to go if I could control the camera as I please.
Like I said, part of the times that it feels more like the boss battle is the camera.
I mean, I get that the camera is locked onto the boss so I can see him. Okay, I get that, but give me the ability to change the angle if I so want to. Jesus fuck. Like if they were ever to make a remaster of this, my number one desire from a remaster of this game would be add a fucking camera system.
Oh no, you damaged part of his
Yeah,
roach
the
shell.
important part is to chip away its armor.
Your daddy doesn't like you very much, does he?
You mustn't talk about Daddy like that. Stop playing with her and kill the wretched girl. But she's hurting me. She's hurting my head.
Aw.
It's nothing compared to what I'll do to you.
Oh, you poor little thing.
Oh, I see what she's doing now. She's just gonna goad him into fucking up.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
and they pulled the whole. Look over there.
Nariko is using her trash talking abilities.
So I'm down with that.
All right. Again,
Also, it's so generous of the crowd to throw away pots that heal you. I guess there has to be some sympathizer in there.
so yeah, he doesn't really change much in terms of his strategy in between phases. So just keep doing the same thing, and you'll eventually beat him. As long as you keep yourself healthy, you should be able to take down this boss pretty easily.
So, like M. Night Shyamalan's sign says, just swing away.
Yeah,
In
basically.
fact, the Roach is voiced by Richard Ridings. Huh.
Well, remember, they kind of got a star cast for this.
Interesting.
Like I said, Teo, it's actually that's a much better decision than they got to play Roach in my country, where the
As a
actor.
reminder, this is the guy who voices Peppa Pig's father.
Yeah. Well. Oh yeah.
You know, it's weird. They call him Roach, but and I get that the shield on his back is supposed to resemble that of a bug's armor, but
it would be more
the thing though is that you
cool, I guess.
I was about to say he looks more like a dung beetle with that kind of shell, honestly.
Remember, like I said, the Portuguese Roach is actually played by an actor who's much more well known for realistic, methodical, cold villains, which is like the complete opposite of what Roach is. So I don't really understand what was the casting decision there.
What if the secret is that Roach is only playing us, and he is actually truly the real mastermind behind all of this?
Please, let's.
Like the casting.
That can be somehow even worse.
Like the casting of Boahn over here makes sense. I mean, Ricardo Carrizo is of course Portuguese Kratos, so he's used to playing over the top characters. So that makes sense. I don't really get this guy playing. I mean, but it's the only casting decision that I'm weirded out. But everybody else is pretty much spot on for their roles, so I don't have a problem.
Well, okay, does he actually do a good job with his performance, or does he? Really
He sounds fine. Like he's definitely doing a voice that I've never heard him do since or before. So I guess this was just something that trying something different. I guess.
I know I said it again, but it bears repeating. The music is not grabbing me for
At
these
best,
boss
it's
battles.
just serviceable. For
They got an actual orchestra to play the music. Thing is, it's your typical generic orchestra that goes by one ear and leaves immediately for the other because you can, for the life of you, even remember a single cue.
And this tune in particular sounds very repetitive.
Or even better, since we're all,
Some do as well.
or even better, since some of us are Sonic fans, it has the Rise of Lyric soundtrack stigma, where it's just generic orchestra with no direction, basically.
Like heck. Oh, let's see what's next.
Why don't you just run away?
Stop it! Stop!
Wait a minute, hold on. She was teasing him the last cutscene, clearly
But
goading him on to fight, but now
when
she's saying
Boahn
that
reprimanded him, you did notice that she had a moment of, oh wait, what? On her face.
Andy, you are
I guess
too.
it just would have helped if they lingered on that a bit more.
Andy, you are too good for this game.
Okay, I get the feeling what we're supposed to get is like an arc of poor Roach. He has to do this.
He generally wants to impress his father, but he doesn't realize that his father is extremely abusive towards him.
I think again the issue is similar to Kaising with Flying Fox here. if this is all we're getting of it, and again, maybe this isn't all we're getting of it, but if this is all we're getting of it, it's about too little, too late, and way too abrupt.
There is a payoff, you'll see when it happens.
Let me put it this way. God of War was incredibly over the top, and by that I mean the Olympus Saga. The Olympus Saga God of War games were very over the top and very in your face and very loud. However, they were still paced properly enough so that the story could still work. You could still get the proper build-ups, the proper flashbacks that would lead to stuff like the big twist of why Kratos has that skin that he does, and all that stuff. Especially the first game. I actually think the story of the first. I actually prefer the story of the first game over the second one, honestly. But yeah, the basic point is, that game still managed to do this game, on the other hand, this game is just loud, abrasive, and that's it. And whatever little amount of substance it tries to have, it does it so haphazardly and rushedly that it's impossible to really give a damn.
Loud, abrasive, and lacking in substance. Yep, that's a Ninja Fury
That's
story.
weird, because I can tell you that there's literally something in the West that goes in a slightly different direction when it comes to that.
This is just.
I'm actually, if anything, this is making me curious for how they did with the movie, because if I remember correctly, Tamim was not involved in the movie whatsoever. So maybe
It was done 7 years after the release of the game. I wonder who wanted it.
And I've heard the movie's worse.
Oh really?
I did not know much about the movie in general before Pedro brought it up.
So basically, I'm actually curious.
It was a series I heard about. I never really followed it that much. I don't recall there being any massive backlash against.
No. That's the thing, Joe. But when this game first came out in 2007, it was liked okay. I mean, it wasn't like an amazingly acclaimed or anything, but it was generally thought to be fine.
I was talking about the movie more so.
Oh well, okay. The movie I don't know, because if I remember correctly, I think the movie was straight to home video. I don't think it went to theaters. So obviously, people for the most part didn't even know it was out. I mean, I know that the Ratchet & Clank movie made it to theaters, but I'm pretty confident the Heavenly Sword 1 was straight to video.
Ow.
I want my daddy to love me.
Basically.
He must be very thick. There hasn't been a drop of blood from him yet.
Idiot! You imbecile!
See? Free out of fury.
Failure!
Oh. I think he needs a hug.
Well, bye then. I'm sorry, these animations are so silly.
2007's mocap technology, sadly.
I don't know, Tail. The cutscenes in God of War looked fine, and those, even the PS2 ones. I mean, I think by this point, that's not really an excuse.
It's like Sonic.
Magic word.
I guess we're fighting him now?
Yeah.
Next chapter,
I
actually.
swore to Kai that I would never leave her.
Well, okay, Nariko, but
You've taken
Why-
Sorry,
why
Pedro.
calling
She
me?
needs to be standing very close to your face to say that.
more. Do you want?
what more do I want? What?
To continue the game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, basically. Chapter 4, Cat and Mouse. Yeah, so we just finished chapter 3, and there you go.
Yeah, if I recall correctly, chapter 3 is the one with the longest number of segments.
Yeah, it is. And then after this we got chapter 5, the final chapter, which is actually the shortest chapter. Okay, that's basically it, everybody. Tune in next time where we go to chapter 4. See you then.
Hooray.